Good day. It is August the 16th, and today we're going to start Nehemiah 2 during the first doing the first five verses, and Proverbs 16. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whatever you like. And we begin Nehemiah 2, starting at verse 1. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan, that in the 20th year King Artaxerxes, when wine was before him, that took the wine before the king. Now I have never been in his presence before, never been sad in his presence before. 2. Therefore the king said to me, why is your face sad, since you are not sick? This is nothing but sorrow of the heart. So I became dreadfully afraid. 3. And said to the king, may the king live forever. Why should my face not be sad when the city, the place of my father's tombs, lies waste, and its gates are burned with fire? 4. Then the king said to me, what do you request? So I prayed to the Elohim of heaven. 5. And I said to the king, if it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, I ask that you send me to Judah, to the city of my father's tombs, that I may rebuild it. So it's been a little while. Remember, he's the cupbearer to the king, which is a very trusted position. Now, there's probably several cupbearers, and they take turns. I don't know if it's like a daily turn, weeklies, monthly, or whatever. But it's been a while, about 4 months since he received that news. And it's possible that he was just thinking on what he wanted to do, or praying on what he should be doing. And it came to pass in the month of Nisan. Now, the Hebrews did not name their months. They adopted the names of the months from other cultures. In the 20th year of the king Artaxerxes, when wine was before him, so this is like at the end of the day, he's just chilling, that I took the wine and gave it to the king. Now I've never been sad in his presence before. This is sad or real down or evil. And he chose this time to expose his sadness. Now, the kings in the court did not like the people to be sad in their presence, because it could indicate possible rebellion brewing or something like that. You know, if you're sad, that means you're unhappy. You might be unhappy with him. 2. Therefore the king said to me, why is your face sad, since you were not sick? So he knew he's not sick, so it has to be something else. This is nothing but sorrow of the heart, so you're heartbroken. So I became dreadfully afraid, because you're not supposed to be sad in the king's presence, and you could be executed. How's that for a job incentive? And said to the king, may the king live forever. This is a courtesy, a flowery courtesy, formality. Why should my face not be sad, when the city, the place of my father's tombs, lies waste, and its gates are burned with fire? In other words, how could I be other than sad than because of what happened to my city in that? Verse 4. Then the king said to me, what do you request? So the king says, what do you want? So I prayed to the Elohim of heaven. So I immediately prayed, because don't forget, he was scared now. The king is favorable to him, and he prayed for wisdom as what to ask the king. And I said to the king, if it pleases the king, in other words, if it's okay with you, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, if I've done good in your opinion, I ask that you send me to Judah. That's where everything's going on. To the city of my fathers, that I may rebuild it. It's a very conditional request. If that, and if this is my request, if it's okay with you. Because the kings had the power of life and death, and, well, you know. Proverbs 16. The preparations of the heart of man's, but the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. 2. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but Yahweh weigheth the spirits. He finds out why you're really doing things. 3. Commit thy works unto Yahweh, and all thy thoughts shall be established. You commit to doing God's works, then your thoughts will be established to doing those works and how to do those works. 4. Yahweh has made everything for his own purpose, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to Yahweh. My hand upon it, he shall not be unpunished. Proud is arrogant. You're saying you're better than God. Not a good thing to do. And it's rebellion, and it will be punished. 6. By mercy and truth, iniquity is expiated. And by fear of Yahweh, men depart from evil. When you properly fear God, that is reverence, worship, and love him, evil will depart. 7. When man's ways please Yahweh, he makes even his enemies to be peace with him. There could be two ways. When you please God, either your enemies won't want to attack you because it will do them too much harm. They say you're supplying something from them to them or something like that. Or 2, they won't be able to attack you because you're too strong. 8. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues with injustice. Better to be poor and righteous than rich and unrighteous. 9. A man's heart devises his way, but Yahweh directeth his steps. 10. A divine sentence is in the lips of the king. His mouth trespasses not in judgment. 11. A just balance and scales are Yahweh's. All the weights of the bag are his work. 12. It is an abomination to kings to commit to wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. 13. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him that speaketh right. 14. The wrath of the kings is as messengers of death. Is as a message. Yeah, but the wise man will pacify it. He'll find out what's going on and appease the king. Hey, wait a minute. 15. In the light of the king's countenance is life, and his favors is the cloud of the latter rain, which is a refreshing rain. 16. How much better it is to get wisdom than gold. Yea, to get understanding is better to be chosen than silver. Wisdom and understanding and knowledge and discernment is more valuable than any material wealth. It can't be lost, it can't be stolen, it can't be destroyed, and you can't use it up. 19. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. The highway of the upright is righteousness. 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. 19. It's better to be of lowly spirit with the humble than to divide spoil with the proud. 20. He that giveth heed to the word shall find good. Whoso trusteth in Yahweh, happy is he. You will be happy if you trust in God. 21. The wise in heart is called a man of discernment, and the sweetness of lips increases learning. 22. Understanding. It's a fountain of life unto him that has it, because it keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. But folly is the chastisement of fools. 23. The heart of the wise teaches his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. 24. Pleasant words are as a honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. 25. There is a way which seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are ways of death. Any way without God leads to death. 26. The hunger of a laboring man laboreth for him, for his mouth compelleth him. Yeah, if you're hungry, you're going to get up and work for something. 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips is a burning fire. 28. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separates familiar friends. 29. A man of violence entices his neighbor, and leads him in a way that is not good. 30. He shutteth his eyes, is devised froward things. He that biteth his lips bringeth evil to pass. 31. The hoary head is a crown of glory. It is found in the way of righteousness. 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. If you can't control yourself, someone else will. And 33. The lot is cast in the lap. The whole disposing is of Yahweh. I hope you've been blessed by this reading. May the Lord richly bless you. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.